Most people in the world are convinced that government, in whatever form, is an inevitability and is something that's going to be present in humanity for as long as humanity exists. So for however long it takes us to get, wiped out by the sun turning into a whatever it's called, black dwarf or whatever cataclysm to happen to wipe out humanity. Or if that doesn't happen, then eventually, whatever, whether we do or do not become extinct. Everybody, most people think that government is as much of a natural occurrence as anything else, any other normal, human phenomenon. And I mean, nothing could be further from the truth. You always hear the classic saying of, there's no guarantees in life other than death and taxes. And being a voluntarist or being an anarchist, you tend to just roll your eyes at every time you hear that come out of somebody's mouth, because it's like, half of that saying is true. Death is inevitable and everything is temporary. But why would you ever think that taxes are inevitable? Well, clearly it's because you're of the opinion that government is inevitable. Government is a necessity for the human social existence. And, being somebody who's been freed of that mentality, somebody who is no longer a statist, you realize just how silly of a thing that is. Like once you realize that there's absolutely nothing in the fabric of reality that necessitates the existence of a coercive hierarchy in the form of a ruling class. It's you hearing something like that just becomes so ridiculous. Like, why death and tax? Like, sure, death, absolutely, yeah, but taxes? Like, you're telling me you can't, like, picture or think of a society, you can't imagine a society operating or existing in the absence of government? Like, have you even lived in the last several months, in the last year, and seen all of just the absolute waste, fraud, depravity, and just absolute, like, overt evil that we've experienced over the last year, let alone the last 10 years? All of the wars, all of the just absolute, mind-boggling corruption. And you're telling me that sort of a condition, that is inevitable? But no, of course, then they'll come back with, oh, well, things are bad now and the system's bad now, but we can fix it. Or they'll say, oh no, but this is bad. This what we have here is bad. But if things were the way I want them to be, if things were, my optimal flavor of totalitarianism or government, then things would be, if not completely better, they would be at least slightly better than what we have. And this is regardless. This is 99.999% of the people you'll talk to. This is their this is this is inevitably where the conversation's going to go. It's like, oh no, if we only, it's like, what if we? What do you mean by we? Like, we only need to, who the fuck is we? Who's we? You and I? Like, did I sign a contract with you in agreement to, like, whatever the fuck your master plan is? Did I agree to that? No, I didn't. I didn't agree to it. So, like, if all of this shit were to collapse, to go by the wayside, and government were to go away, uh, you know, from the way that we know it, or in the way that we know it, it were to go away, and obviously the belief in authority were to still be there. You would constantly have people, you constantly see people saying, like, oh no, we need to rebuild, like we need to reestablish this thing that we lost, like we need to rebuild government. And again, like, if you were to come up to somebody like that, or start a conversation with somebody like that, the immediate question to them should be like, who is we? You mean you and I? Are you going to force me to pay for this government? And if so, how are you going to do? Are you going to point a gun at my face and say, no, you have to fund this system of mine that's going to work oh so great, and it's going to work oh so much better than anything that's been in the past, right? Is there going to be taxes? So, again, it's grasping at the realm of effects. So there's two different realms, right? There's the realm of causality, and there's the realm of effects. The realm of causality is looking at things that happen in the world and their true underlying roots and their true underlying causes, right? And the realm of effects is literally just looking at the effects on the, like, so if we were to say, like, an analog is watching a movie and not being satisfied, not being happy about what's being shown in the movie, and yelling at the screen, wishing for the movie to change. That is being immersed in the realm of effects. And the realm of causality would be, oh, I don't like this movie, I don't like what's being shown on the screen, so I'm going to walk over to the CD player and pull the CD out and put a different movie in, one that I actually like, right? So that would be operating in the realm of causality. And what 99.99% of people in the world who are statists, who believe in government, who believe in authority, who believe that, some people can have rights that other people don't have, and some people can have the moral right to issue commands, and other people have the moral obligation and the moral imperative to obey. When these people see the problems with society that we have today, however accurately they portray or they identify those problems, right? The problems with the totalitarianism, the problems with the well, if we're talking about relevant things today, the data centers that are being built, the totalitarianism, the warfare welfare state, right? The the new war that we got going on, all of it's everything, right? The inflation. They can accurately identify those things and identify those things as problems. But the unfortunate thing in the reality of the situation for most of those people is that they're operating in the realm of effects, in that they're seeing those problems, and again, however they're identifying, however accurately they're identifying those problems, that's one thing. But they're seeing those problems, and the conclusion that they arrive at is that this is messed up, and my model of totalitarianism, my flavor of totalitarianism, would have handled these things in a better way. Instead of paying for billions to go to Israel, or billions to go to this new war, name it, right? You name it. I would be a better user of those resources. I would be a better steward of that money. And what's completely lost on the vast majority of the public is that the problem isn't the waste, fraud, and the inefficient allocation of resources. Like those are problems, but the root of the problem is the involuntary and coercive taking of those resources in the first place, which is all that government does. And so the person who accurately identifies the problem and accurately identifies the root cause of the problem is the person who says, yes, this waste, fraud, this waste, this fraud, this totalitarianism, all of this is bad, but the root cause of it is the taxation, and it's the belief in authority. Whereas the vast majority of people, the average Joe, is going to say this inefficient allocation of resources, this funding of war, this funding of genocide, like all of this is wrong, and everything should stay the same except for I should have like my ideal form of socioeconomic order and my ideal form of government, and as long as I have the reins of control, as long as I have as long as I'm at the steering wheel, then things are fine. They're not fine, and I think eventually there's going to come a time where humanity is finally going to learn. And again, hopefully, I don't know, I have no proof of this, I can't look into the future, but I think there's going to come a time where people en masse no longer operate in the realm of causality, no longer operate in the realm of effects, and they switch over to operating in the realm of causality. They actually look at the underlying root cause, like the largest root of the problem, and they accurately identify it, and they act in accordance with that. And I think anything short of operating in accordance with that sort of a realization ultimately is not going to be fruitful. It is not going to result in any sort of remarkable or long-lasting human freedom over the long haul, right? People have to actually start thinking outside of the left-right political spectrum. And I think once they do that, then things will be probably slowly, but then exponentially, eventually better. So operate in the realm of causality, not in the realm of effects. Thanks for watching.